Hunt with Jim Shockey for giant Canadian whitetails in the undisputed hotspot for big bucks, Saskatchewan, home of the largest whitetail deer in the world. Travel to Vancouver Island, British Columbia to hunt with Jim Shockey at Pacific Rim Guide Outfitters for the largest black bears on the planet. All spot and stalk, in your face black bear hunting action. If you dream of taking a trophy black bear, Pacific Rim Outfitters can help you make that dream a reality. Hunt with Jim Shockey in the Yukon, his newest addition to his outfitting territories, for record-setting Alaskan Yukon moose, grizzly bear, caribou, and Dall sheep. To book a hunt with Jim Shockey, call 1-888-826-1011 or go to www.jimshockey.com. Don't miss the hunt of a lifetime.
Hi, I'm Jim Shockey, and welcome to this Adventures video. These wild dogs in Africa are a symbol of the wilderness that hunters help protect, and also one of the reasons hunters come into the wilderness to see these incredible sights like these wild dogs in Africa. You're going to be seeing some incredible sights yourself on this Adventures video. Enjoy it. What a hunt! It's nice to be able to finish a hunt in a day and come back to a vehicle, but it's not always like that. In a lot of places I hunt, some places are so incredibly remote you can't get a vehicle within 500 miles. One of those areas is up in the Yukon in one of my guiding areas near the Rogue River. That's where you're headed on a boat hunt for a giant Alaskan Yukon moose. Come September, there's no place I'd rather be than up in the Yukon hunting for the gigantic Alaskan Yukon moose that live there. My outfitting territory in the Yukon is about 20,000 square miles of the most pristine wilderness left in North America. And you know when you're hunting there that nothing has changed in hundreds of years. When that airplane takes off and leaves you, it's an eerie feeling. You know you're a long way from civilization. You're not going to walk out to the nearest road, that's for sure, at least not in this lifetime. I'm going to take you on a tour of a typical moose camp up here in the Yukon. First of all, that's our boat. That's where we park it, our jet boat. The creek you hear in the background here, I'll show you. This creek right over here, that's where we get all our water, because you can drink water up here right out of the streams. Come with me this way. Come with me this way. Come on. Come on, cameraman. This is our castle. Look at that. 2 fireplaces in this one. One's working. This way.
Who's that? Who's doing on my claim? What are you doing on my claim?
Come on, cameraman. Come on.
Hey, welcome.
Come on.
Welcome. Come in.
This is Razor the guide. He built this camp. He's
Hi, everybody.
construction is his forte.
Come in. Come in.
Go
You
on.
want a coffee?
Yeah. You got coffee? I'll
Yeah. Hey, there you go. I'll give you mine.
Oh yeah. Good. Here, I'll show you something. Look at this. This is a bush chair. Yeah, this is very nice, eh? And this is called a hippie killer because if you smoke dope and let it get too hot, you burn your tent down with you in it often.
That's right. No
Come on.
knife.
Come on. Oh, I'll show you. Here's a guide's gun. Come on right in, cameraman. You gotta come right in. Follow me right along. There's a guide's gun. Yeah. Nice.
There used to be
Custom?
mad flappers like soda pop, man.
Yeah. Hey, look at this.
He's dead now.
reading material. Look at Craig Boddington with his Desert Ram and Muzzle Blast magazine. Excellent. Cake.
No more.
Yeah, the cake's gone somewhere. Where's the cake?
Bear run.
Bear took it. Yeah. Come on right in. Come on right in. This is our lodging. This would be my bed over here. This is a gratuitous sponsors plug. Northern Outfitters. Oh, Wind River binoculars. Hey, nozzler hat. Excellent. Hey, wait a minute. Hoyt bows, Wind River, crooked horn. This coincidence? I think not.
This is a lamp.
And down here, you see the beds? These are actually made by Razor.
Razor's bed.
Razor's bed. Those are beautiful. We're going to try taking this boat, this jet boat, up the river. Then we're going to float back down, pull in on little gravel bars.
Yeah.
And you're gonna
do.
You're going to call like, something like that?
Yeah, something like that.
Now the fact is, I'd already been guiding in that area for a few days. I guided Jim Bissenden, he's another one of my cameramen, he's my right-hand guy, to a fantastic archery bull moose. He got this bull at 29, 30 yards, I think it was, with his Hoyt bow. Fantastic footage, 62-inch moose, he was thrilled. And we saw a pile of big moose on Jim's hunt. But I couldn't go hunting myself until he had his moose. Then I could go hunting. Right in the heart, Jim. You got him right in the heart. Get another one into him. Get another one. Get another one. Jim. That's it. Got him right in the heart. Get another one into him. Jim, get closer to him, not further away. He's going to tip, Jim. He's going to tip. Jim, don't waste it. Don't waste it. He's tipping over. All right. Yeah! Oh! That hunt with Jim Bissenden appeared on my Adventure 6 videotape. And you'll remember there was a to be continued at the bottom. Well, this is the continuation of that hunt. We actually only hunted for the first 2 days before we bumped into a moose that was obviously bigger than the existing muzzleloader world's record. We estimated that it had antlers over 70 inches wide. That's over 6 feet. And then it would score way up in the Boone and Crockett record book. As we floated downstream right beside that huge bull, I had a tough choice to make. I had my night muzzleloader right there beside me. I could have picked it up and shot him. I mean, he was less than 80 yards away. And he certainly gave me lots of opportunity to take that shot. But somehow it didn't seem right. I mean, it was legal, but it still seemed a little unethical. I'd come all the way up to the Yukon to hunt this big bull on shore, calling him in, bringing him in close. I didn't want to snipe him from a boat, so I let him run away. I have to admit, even though I let him run off, I still kind of figured in the back of my mind that we might see that big bull again. He was obviously in full rut. I mean, he was raking willows as he was going downstream right beside us. And bulls are very territorial at that time of year, so I felt if we stayed on him, kept hunting him hard, and worked that area, we just could see him again. Plus, I brought out my secret weapon, my Renzo's decoy. These decoys made by Renzo's decoy company work like a hot darn. When the bull moose see them, they come right in. Sometimes they come in too close. Yeah. 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 That's just way cool. The decoy works magnificently. I mean, this bull's coming wide open. I'm wide open. This is, moose hunting doesn't get any better than this. Oh, oh. That's a nice bull, but he's not big enough. Come on, big guy. Come on. You know what? This makes for great footage for television, but I'm going to turn my moose decoy into a grizzly bear decoy here in about 1 second. He's plenty close enough to me. This is a grizzly bear now. That is beautiful. This is what moose hunting in the Yukon and my territory is all about. I mean, these moose have never seen humans before. And they've never seen such pretty girls either. The girls up here aren't so pretty. Where you want to start being careful is when you start displaying, when he starts turning his head like that. Because they'll come in and then they come in sideways and they just slam you one. I think we probably played with him just enough. No more decoy now, it's just me and you, big guy. Yeah, I was joking. That sound means it's time to exit stage left. If you spend any time up in the North Country, it won't be long before you start hearing moose and rut stories. Stories about moose that get smoked by trains because they hear the train and think it's a cow moose, or bull moose that come after loggers because they hear the chainsaw and think that's a cow moose. Well, here's a new one. Here's a bull moose that thinks a 16-foot aluminum jet boat is a beautiful cow moose. I believe it was the second or third day of my hunt. The weather turned kind of ugly, so we went upstream to pick up Jim Bissenden's antlers for his moose. Now that's a hunt you saw earlier this year. We were cruising back downriver with those antlers in the bow of the boat when this little moose came straight out at us. Thing was, he wasn't the only dummy in the crowd. Look what came out right behind him, another great big bull moose. There you can see Jim's antlers in the bow of the boat. I wheeled the boat around, held it steady in the current, and enjoyed the show. And tell you what, you want to see some confused looking bulls, it was these two. I mean, they thought we sounded pretty, but when they actually got a close look at us, we were pretty darn ugly for a cow moose. Hey, this is moose hunting. These things are wild right now. Holy moly, look at that bull. The smaller bulls tend to be the most aggressive during the rut, but small is a relative term. This one still outweighs me by 1,000 pounds. And you can see I'm putting a cap on my night muzzleloader just in case. Now, if I was looking for a meat bull, this bull is perfect. But that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for that big one, the one we saw earlier, the one that we thought would break the existing muzzleloader world's record. The downside of being selective, of looking for a particular animal like we were doing, is that at some point in the hunt you may have to make a hard choice. Do you take a good animal and go home with a bull, or do you turn that good animal down waiting for the great animal, but take a chance of going home without a bull? My hard choice came about day 4. We were sitting in camp around the campfire about to have breakfast when it happened. As soon as I saw the bull, I knew he was one I should consider taking. But I also knew he wasn't the bull I was after. So I made my hard choice. I let this one walk away. Wow. Oh, 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 oh. What a way to wake up this morning. I haven't even had my coffee yet. Bull comes right into camp. Unbelievable. They say that good luck is where patience and hard work meet. Well, for us, they met as we rounded a bend within a few hundred yards of where we'd seen that monster bull a few days before. He's going. Come on. This is the most unbelievable moose hunt I've ever had in my life. I've been hunting for a moose this big for about 3 years. Finally found him in my own territory. We had how many bull moose? Tens and tens. I mean, bulls called in and said, no, called in, no, right in camp they come in. Yeah. Then we'd go down the boat right there. Camp. And then you promised, though, but you promised the big one you'd call right into 10 feet.
Yeah, well, that was close.
That was a long shot, I thought. He was only about 100 yards. This bull is, I mean, the score doesn't matter, but if he's not world's record for muzzleloader, I'd be really surprised. Yeah. He's probably 70 inches wide. I mean, pans are all bent and folded in with big brow palms. He's a monstrous bull. We were ecstatic. We figured we'd taken the big bull we'd been hunting. But when we looked at the video footage later on, we discovered that no, the other bull was much larger and it's still running around up in my territory. This one tied the existing muzzleloader world's record right to the 1/8 of an inch and scored well into the Boone and Crockett record book. I'm looking for that young fawn's grandpa, something with antlers on its head. While I'm doing that, you're going to watch 2 early season hunts for monster mule deer in Saskatchewan. Now, many of you are starting to recognize this young man. This is Cody Robbins. He's my #1 ace cameraman. He's been with me since he was out of high school. And you'll notice that he's starting to grow some fuzz on his face finally after all these years. Whenever the fall hunting season comes around, that's September and October, he's on my case all the time. I want to be out in Saskatchewan videoing mule deer, Saskatchewan mule deer, monsters, mule deer. He wants to be out there because he grew up out there. He knows all of the mule deer in that area by name, and there is some huge deer. So naturally, he wants to be videoing hunts for those huge deer. I usually try and get him to do a couple of moose hunts and then send him out to Saskatchewan. I can't handle the whining anymore. And that's part of it. The other part of it is he knows a lot of hunters like Bob Black who he can video, guys that are looking for big mule deer that don't just want a mule deer for the pot. Bob's a super hunter and he was looking for a heavy rack mule deer. That's exactly what they found.
Bob and I have spotted big old mule deer buck. He's got not really deep forks, but really lots of mass, really heavy. He's got a drop tine on his left side. He's also got a sticker point on the left side. I don't know what else he has for junk, but he's got so much character. We're 150 yards right now, and we're going to sneak up 50 yards closer, and we're going to wait for him to stand up.
The way they hunt these mule deer buck is pretty simple. They get up early in the morning, which is tough for Cody, believe me, and glass farm fields. They watch these big mule deer coming off the fields into the buckbrush, the open pasture land. And if they're in the right position, they'll be able to pinpoint where the buck beds down for the day. Then they sneak in and wait for the buck to stand up. Now, when they're sitting there waiting for the buck to stand up, they've got 2 things they're hoping for. One is that when the buck does stand up, it doesn't see them and spook. And mule deer aren't the most cagey in the world, so often they'll see you if you sit still, they won't run away, they'll just go right back to what they're doing, which is being dozy in the middle of the day. The second hope is that when the buck stands up, it gives them a broadside shot. That's vital. You want to make sure you're taking a good shot always. Shot selection is the most important thing on any big animal.
stretch about every 3 hours. Well, there's the first 3 hours. Here comes the next 3. He's getting up.
Bob made a fantastic shot on that buck. You can see it went a little ways, and depending on the angle, those deer are big animals and they're tough. I mean, he's probably a 350-pound deer.
He went down. He went down.
All right, guys.
Bob!
Way to go. What a deer. What a deer.
Tell me if that's not exciting.
That is unreal.
He's big, hey?
Oh, he's huge. Huge. Mine. Oh, unreal.
How heavy he is.
Woo. Holy.
Oh, you made an awesome shot. Bob, you're a monster.
Unreal. Woo. He is big. Holy.
He's cool, eh?
Isn't he? Little dropper. Look at that.
So that's the first time you've snuck up to a mule deer and waited for him like that.
It is.
Tell me if it's fun or not.
It's a riot. I've never done that before. Love it.
It's pretty neat.
Oh,
We sneak up to these bucks all the time here in Saskatchewan. We get within 50 to 100 yards and wait for them to stand up. And sometimes you gotta wait 2 hours, 4 hours, just like Bob kind of realized there.
yeah. Took a while.
He stood up the first time and we're all excited and shaking and ready to get a shot. And he bedded back down before we got a nice broadside shot. So we had to wait again. But it paid off. We didn't spook him. He stood back up again later after I took a sleep and you stood on watch. And we got him. Like, it was a great hunt. He's got the neat little kickers up here on the top Y, and if you turn his head, he's really junky. He's got a little drop tine, and then he's got a kicker off the back Y on that side as well. And he's just massive at the bases. Every mule deer hunter's dream. This buck here, he's awesome. That was a great shot, Bob. It was perfect. And congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Now, Bob was on the classic spot them in the morning, sneak up on them when they're bedded, wait till they stand up hunt. Al Mailing, who's the hunter you're about to watch, was on a slightly different, a variation of that type of hunt. They spotted these bucks way out in the farm fields and felt that they could get between them and where they would be bedding for the day. So they didn't have to wait, spot them when they bedded down, and then sneak in on them. They could actually get between them and their bedding area. That's exactly what they did. Again, the problem is you don't want the buck to see you, and you have to assume or hope that you pick the right spot that they're going to cross over into the pasture land. It's really a nerve-wracking way to hunt because the buck could Y off in some other direction. There's a million different paths he can take, a million different routes, but Cody's really good at this mule deer hunting. I'll give him that. Just don't tell him I said that. And they made the right choice.
Oh, thank you, my man. Thank
Good job,
you.
buddy.
Thank you. Oh, thank you very much.
Tell me how fast your heart's going right now.
Oh, it's way over the speed limit. Oh. Cody, look at this. Oh man. Beautiful animal.
Well, I don't know if you can tell or not, but Al and I are pretty darn sad. We only got to hunt 10 minutes and we had to take a buck like this. What a pity, Hale.
No, not really.
Well, I want to congratulate you. This deer is he's about a 190 gross Boone and Crockett, and he's got, if you turn his head, he's got a gnarly sticker out the side for character, and he's got stickers off his base. He's got really nice brow tines that curl in. You don't see that very often on a mule deer. It's
Very beautiful animal.
It was just a great morning, wasn't it?
Yes, sir.
I would say that great morning is an understatement. That's a dream buck for me for sure. I've never taken a mule deer that big myself. I want you to look very carefully at the buck's shoulder. Watch. You can actually see the nozzler bullet flying through the air. If the lighting is just right, because we're using muzzleloaders, the bullets are flying fairly slowly, and we often video the bullet going through the air. I'm going to get Cody to show you that one more time. Isn't that amazing? It's just fantastic to see that. Now, I also want to tell you something about Adventures 8, because you're going to see what happened after Al Mailing's hunt. Cody got to go out hunting, and what a monster of a buck he got, but you'll have to wait till Adventures 8 to see that hunt. Oh yeah, see, this is perfect. I can see all the way around here. Starting tomorrow, I'll be sitting here all day, dark till dark, for the next month, waiting for one big buck to come in. While I'm doing that, you're going to be heading to Spain for a hunt that's maybe a little bit more fun. You're hunting with a good friend of mine, Felix Lelaine, a fantastic outfitter. And on this hunt, I took my wife. When I said Spain, she said, I'm going, meaning we're both going. So enjoy. I was born and raised in North America, so my first love, of course, for hunting is hunting for North American big game. But the more I hunt, and I do get to hunt a lot, and believe me, I truly every single day thank who's ever in charge for allowing me to have this life. But the more I get to hunt, the more I realize just how many other places there are in the world with fantastic big game hunting. We're getting closer. We can actually see the mountains, the Gredos Mountains, the highest point in central Spain.
Me lo cuentas todo y así lo hacemos.
We're going to be hunting there soon. Where else in North America you can drive along a highway and find a castle that's 600 years old? Just doesn't happen over here. The cultures are so different, and that's what makes it interesting. Another thing that makes it interesting is you can justify taking your wife along. I mean, I know my wife is no hunter. She was actually vegetarian when we met. But when I told her we'd be going to Spain to hunt ibex, she was absolutely ecstatic and thrilled to come along for the hunt. Apparently, that was the last hunter that Felix had. He missed a couple of shots. That's what happens to him. I'm not going to miss any shots, I guarantee you. That's what's going to happen. It's not only about the big game hunting, the actual way they hunt the animals either. It's the vehicles they use. I mean, over in Spain, they've never heard of a pre-94 Mighty Dodge before, or a crew cab long box Ford. The great big diesel. They just don't use vehicles like that. They don't need to. The places they drive their vehicles are a lot tighter, and there's a lot more vehicles on the road, so they use smaller vehicles. We've arrived up in the mountains, the Gredos Mountains. We're going to be hunting Gredos ibex. This is the hunting house. I guess you'd call it the lodge. Let your head. Low. Check it out, ibex horns on the wall. Absolutely, the fire going beautiful. going into the. This is so steep. Oh, look at the andirons. Oh, beautiful.
Oh, aren't those pretty?
That is gorgeous. I'll take them. Okay, watch your head. Right here, look at. Now this is our bedroom. Check it out. You see how gorgeous it is? Now, I'm going to show you something about traveling with the love of my life. Check it out. 4 giant suitcases, and I have the bottom one for my gun case, and that's all that's mine. Well, almost all. She travels light. The language barrier is always a problem when you're in one of these foreign countries hunting, and also you have to be prepared to eat differently. They just don't eat McDonald's hamburgers. I mean, I ate, I'd say about 1,000 olives a day when I was there and drank about 10 glasses of wine every day. It's different type of hunting. Once we started to go out hunting, those things started to seem to be similar to North America. There were differences. Their pack saddles were definitely different than ours. They were like big bags. And the country we traveled in was different as well. Number one, the horse trails were worn in from hundreds, literally hundreds of years of travel. And the plants that you'd pass by were different as well. There was Spanish lavender and heather, beautiful plants that you pay a fortune for at any nurseries here in North America, but there they grow wild. Still though, in spite of the differences in the plants and the terrain, the hunt was just as interesting as any goat or sheep hunt I've ever been on in North America. When we finally saw our first ibex, it was identical to hunting in North America. I mean, you just got the exact same feeling, the same thrill and the desire to go chasing after them, go try and get up in the rocks and get closer. That doesn't change. I don't care where you're hunting in the world, that feeling is always the same. That is so cool. That's the first ibex I've ever seen up here in Spain. On the slopes of El Miser, the highest point in Spain. There's dos macho, un hembra. It's big. It seemed to be very similar too to hunting in North America in one way, and that's that the female ibex were unafraid of us, totally unafraid of us. We could take those horses right by them and they wouldn't run away. But as soon as you saw the males, different matter. They were a lot spookier. The other thing I noticed was that their game management strategies are a little different. I wanted to go after the one big macho, the male with the herd of females, but they wouldn't let me. They wanted to find an old male that was off in a bachelor herd that had nothing to do with any of the breeding anymore. So that's what we were looking for. In fact, we even found another ram that I wanted to go after in the worst way, or Billy, I guess, because they're goat species to go after, but they wouldn't let me do it. Beautiful. And when I saw this Billy goat, I thought for sure we'd be going after it. I made plans for it. Big ibex right here. We just came over the ridge. He was right here. But that's not how they manage their wildlife populations over there. They want you to go after specific animals, very old animals, animals that are past the breeding age, past their prime. And they know which animals those are. That's what we were looking for. And it took some work, believe me. It wasn't like a mountain goat hunt over here in North America, that's for sure, but it was still a fair bit of work. We came over a ridge and spotted several of these billies all together, and they were looking for one particular really wide, really old one they thought was hanging out with this bachelor group. We were really lucky because it was only the youngest of the billies that spotted us, and not smart enough yet to know that he should be running. He probably didn't know what the heck a cowboy hat from North America was doing over in Spain anyway. That's probably why he didn't run. It was actually Felix who spotted the big one. He was just bedded over the ridge where we couldn't see him. And at this point, it's a matter of being patient and waiting for the perfect shot. It wasn't a long shot, but it had to be a perfect shot.
dead, huh?
I was right on him. I was right on him. Oh, he's beautiful. Greedos ibex.
¿Has visto?
This is,
Pero con esta-
it doesn't get,
Yo no lo he visto
doesn't
porque
get
ha salido tanto-
prettier, doesn't get more beautiful, it doesn't get more cultural. I mean, what a
Look at
classic
this,
European
and
hunt.
scenery, yeah.
Yeah. Classic European hunt. Oh man. I don't think Hunting Adventures video would be complete without a whitetail segment, the most popular animal to hunt in North America. And you're going to the best place to hunt those deer in North America, Saskatchewan. 2 hunts.
It's the beginning of December, which means it's almost the end of the whitetail season in Saskatchewan. So it's finally my turn to hunt. I'm usually videoing Jim Shockey all over the world all year long. Tonight it's my turn. I got one of my best friends and another cameraman for Jim, Jason Peterson, videoing me. I got one little hint from Mr. Jim Shockey. He never helps me carry anything, all my gear when we're all over the world. It's always him and his night muzzleloader, never any of my gear. Look at this, Jim. I'm carrying Jason's tripod because he's my buddy and I'm helping him out.
What Cody doesn't realize is we're not buddies. All he is to me is an overpaid cameraman who gets to travel all around the world and hunt for free. And his only work is carrying a little tiny camera and a tripod. Anybody could do that. It's like sitting on a pot of gold and complaining about a sore rear end.
We're in our Lucky's tent blind, and it's quite an operation getting all set up with 2 guys in here with a cameraman, tripod. There's lots of room in here, but with all these clothes on and our nice big comfy chairs, it takes about 20 minutes just to get comfy. And when you're sitting here all day, it's worth being comfortable. Jason's the cameraman, but I'm just helping him out. Hint, hint, Jim.
It's pretty funny that I never hear Cody hinting like that when I'm about to sign his paycheck. But actually, besides being an overpaid cameraman, he's also a pretty darn good little hunter in his own right. The only thing is, I never give him much time to go hunting. So last fall, when he had 2 days off, the first thing he did was head out to a particular stand where he knew there was a big 6x5 coming in. He'd videoed it several times in the pre-season.
Buck number 1 is on his way. That's not the 6x5.
I had singled this deer out to be one of the first deer I wanted to go after and get on camera with one of my hunters when the November hunting season rolled around. Once the season started, we put a lot of time in on that stand, and that darn 6x5 never showed his face when we were there. I don't know if it was the rut or some pretty little doe that had drug him off on some honeymoon somewhere else, but he wasn't there, he was gone. But now that it was my turn to hunt and the rut was kind of drawing to a close, I was hoping that maybe he was traveling his old trails again.
Our 6x5 is coming the same trail. Here he comes. We got about 15 minutes of legal shooting time left. And here he comes. He's big, he's big. Careful. 6x5 we were waiting for. How exciting can that get? There were deer coming in from our right as well. Holy smokes. Night muzzleloader. If you think my heart wasn't going right out of my chest when he was coming across that open. Oh boy. That is a big 6x5. That's what you come to Saskatchewan for right there. We didn't even show it, but to the right of the camera, coming to the right, there was two more bucks. Two more bucks, a wide 4x4.
This is the 6x5 that I videoed 4 times this year. Never got the footage we wanted, never got a good shot at him, but he came across that wide open just like he did tonight, every time. He's a beautiful buck, and I'm really thankful that I got the opportunity at him. He's a beauty. Old buck, he's probably going downhill, getting shorter points, really heavy. He's a beauty.
To have a successful whitetail hunt in Saskatchewan, you've got to be dressed properly and you've got to be mentally prepared. But it also helps to have luck. And that's exactly what Dave Lawless had last fall when he hunted with me. A ton of it.
Davey. Oh, to the right. Oh, yeah. Get the gun up, Davey, get the gun. Oh, shh. Go, get in here, go. Get it ready. No, Davey. He's a big one. Don't shoot until I tell you. Don't shoot until I'm ready. Okay? Davey. Okay, I want it. It's gotta be perfect. Don't take the shot unless you're absolutely dead confident. Okay. Anytime you're ready. Anytime. Take him anytime. Okay. Safety. Okay, there you go. Take him there. Davey. This way. Not now with that doe there. Not now with the doe. Okay, take him. You hit him. You got him, eh? He's going down. Hey. Holy cow. He's huge. Hey, knuckle me. He's huge, Dave. Yeah. He's a monster. No, I know, we waited. I know, he's easy 170, 5x5 with this kicker. Holy cow. I don't want to get you too excited. Oh, he is huge.
I'm excited now.
Yeah, you should be. That's a buck of a lifetime. Perfect shot too. He only went about 50 yards there and tipped over. Right there. Yeah, I know.
Davey Lawless, congratulations.
Thanks, Jimmy.
You had a couple days off from guiding and you came down hunted with me. And look at the buck you got. I couldn't believe it when he came in. I was ready to grab the gun from him. I had my tag. I could have shot him, but you deserved it more than I did. Look at the size. Look at the mass on that buck. And all the stickers.
He's huge. A lot bigger than anything I thought I'd ever get.
A lot bigger than I hoped you'd get to. I'm a little bit jealous about this buck. This is exactly the kind of deer you come to Saskatchewan to get. A massive, gnarly old brute, 300-pound body. This one will score net Boone and Croc at 170 plus points. About as big a buck as ever been taken with a night muzzleloader on camera, maybe any muzzleloader on camera. Maybe we'll see up here someday. It's a fantastic hunt. A little bit nippy, eh?
A little bit.
But the deer are worth it. We'll see you here. I love fishing. I don't get as much of a chance to go fishing as I used to anymore, but I do love it. But still, hunting is my number one passion in the outdoors. And bear hunting, that's right up near the top of all the hunting anybody can do. You're headed off to Vancouver Island into my black bear guiding territory to watch a fantastic black bear hunt. And I'm going to try and catch breakfast here in the Yukon. Enjoy. That keeps the barnacles off the bottom of the boat. Okay, come on in. You get the best seat in the whole yacht.
I'm honored, Mr. Shockey.
The hunt you're about to watch is with Lynn Gravely. Lynn's from Texas, and like many of my hunters, he's taken other black bears. But he decided to come to the north end of Vancouver Island and hunt with me for a really big one. He's turning the rocks to eat the little crabs. He turned over that great big rock. Cool. Pretty small. We need his grandpa. Okay. We looked at a lot of bears during the 2 days we hunted together. That's normal in my territory. We'll turn down bears looking for just the right bear for each client. And Lynn definitely knew what he wanted. He wanted a big old boar. He's down in the ditch. Let's go. Right down. Okay. Just let him come right in. Don't even worry.
Shoot now, I can take you now.
No. You only get a chance to do this once in a while. Make it last. You Texas guys are ready to shoot instantly. We got the wind right here, so he's gonna come right out in the middle, wide open. I know. Wire him through that grass. I'm not gonna let you shoot now. Let him come ahead. If he comes up and he sees us or hears us or smells us, then you can take that shot. But I want him wide open. Okay. Beautiful. Look at him. That's so cool. He's big, eh? Wind's in our face. We got him good. Here you are from here.
If that didn't happen, this wouldn't be fun.
Exactly right. Okay. Now when he comes out in the open, we're gonna take him. When we got a full wide open shot, not behind that tree. No. Good. Hit him again. Hit him again. There. Oh, he's down. Hey, that was cool. You should see how big he is.
Is he a good bear, Jim?
Oh, yeah, he's a big bear. Hey, That was cool. I could hear your heart going doof, doof, doof. Oh my goodness sakes. Oh, be careful because he's still big. Oh my goodness. A little bit. Look at this. Look at this.
Pumpkin head.
Way high 19s, like 19 something. 7 foot, 7'4", 7'2", somewhere in there. You got him. That was way cool. He was headed all the way out to the grass in the middle. Never seen a human being here. Oh, I didn't even have anything to back up with. I'd have been going click, click, click. Well, Lynn, you might as well get your tag out, cut it, and I'll be waiting at the truck for you.
I'll get him there. I'll have him there in 5 minutes, Jim.
You know, the amazing thing about Lynn's hunt was that we weren't done after the one bear. You can actually take 2 bears in my bear territory on Vancouver Island in British Columbia. It was on the way home that we spotted another gigantic bear for Lynn. He had 2 tags. We made the stock, only there was no getting close to this one. He had to make an unbelievable shot from a long distance. Make it down, right down to, we're gonna get down to this stump right here. You see a black piece of him in there. There he is. There he is. Don't rush the shot, take your time. Hey, wait, no, he's got branches in the way, he's got branches in the way. Just wait. Okay, yep. Hit him again. If he gets up there, I'll have to shoot. Man, oh man, I think you got him.
That's my job.
You got a good job, and you're pretty darn good at it. I think you drilled him. How'd you do that? Ha ha ha! He's down. Same bear this morning that was busting all the trees. Look at this. He's a monster again. Look at this. Oh! There's no way. He may be bigger. Yeah, no teeth, all busted. Oh, what a giant. He's huge. Lynn.
Good job, Jim.
He is a monster. Okay.
Didn't go far either.
No, same as your other one, 10, 15 feet. Look at the size of this bear. Oh. It's been a long day. This is one of the great things about a day like today. Here in Canada, in the Yukon, you can actually drink out of any stream, any lake. It's something you definitely don't want to do over in Africa, unless you like liver flukes and brainworms. That's where you're headed now, by the way, not for liver flukes and brainworms, but to Africa to see some of the most incredible hunting you ever can imagine. We flew all the way to Chunya in southern Tanzania for this hunting adventure. Now, Tanzania is located on the east side of Africa, and it's one of the few places left in the world where the animals just don't have any fear of human beings. In fact, the biggest of the big game animals there seem to have a real attitude. We've just landed in Kenya. Looking for the big stuff now. I was scared. We were hunting with Mike Fell and Danny McCallum Safaris. And if I thought the flight in was scary, it's only because I had no idea what was in store for me. When we arrived at the main camp, there still wasn't any indication that there might be an element of danger involved with this hunt. The camp was absolutely gorgeous. They really know how to do it up right over there in Tanzania. They actually build these beautiful thatched lodges every spring and then tear them down every fall. But they can afford to. The labor is relatively inexpensive over there. Day 2, we're headed out on Spike Camp. We're leaving the relative luxury of the main camp and we're headed for the hippo, croc area, and apparently some monster kudu. We'll see what happens. This is quite a production. I guess this is the African version of backpacking. For a three-day spike camp. Let's see. Lots of guys.
Imagine how much kitchen you
Kandeni. Hey, Germany.
We're all set?
Yeah, let's cruise. I think the chain will be alright.
Let's cruise.
Yeah.
At about 2 miles an hour with this rig. First bump, you're going to have about 2 tractors, a cook, and a helper all
Over the front.
dumped right on our heads. So, Mike, we're headed somewhere to hunt hippopotamuses.
That's right, we're going to the Rungwa River, and it's a very, very dry year, so there's just a few pools left with lots of hippos in them, and there are a few dominant males, and the old bulls get kicked out by themselves, and they'll hang out in the bushes off on the sides of the river. You know, they don't stay in the water all day long, so those are the ones we'll be primarily hunting.
Okay, so I won't be hunting them in the water, we'll be hunting them
Out of the water.
out of the water.
Pick up their tracks and follow them into the thickets.
We're gonna follow something that weighs 6,000 pounds with 20-inch teeth into the thickets.
Yeah.
You must have me mistaken for somebody who's brave. This will be our home for the next 3 days on this spike camp. The water is just over the bank. There's big elephant tracks there, but no hippos, so we don't need to worry about hippos squishing us at night. Just elephants. But now we're going out hunting.
They've gone from here. We'll go to the next pool further down. Got snow, isn't it? Oh yeah. Where would you? Snow's so good. See from the eye between the ear and the eye. Look at that. Looks like a big bull. Big bull. Look at him right here. He's still right there. Come, Andy. Oh, he's looking at us. Let's go quickly before he gets out of us. He's staring at us. Come. Come, Jim. Come, Jim. Does he want to fight? Big bull.
Oh, look at him.
Come.
Don't get in front of me.
It's right between the eyes.
Yeah.
There's lots of them. Can you have more of them?
Holy moly. You wanted me to shoot straight after that? I'm still shaking. The thing's like 8,000 pounds. If I sounded nervous, it's because I was. Hippos have the reputation of being the most dangerous big game animal in the world to hunt. And I was using a muzzle loader. There's more than one. Come. Mike,
Come. These are females. Oh, got the whole head out of the water. Yeah, I know.
a million of
This
them.
one on the sides of the bull.
Which one's?
This one here. It's not a good one.
What about this one here?
Watch out.
Yeah, code. Yeah, I'm on both sides.
Shit. Just keep watching, Jim.
There's one right here. Code.
Come around the side a little bit. Leave it. Leave it. It will come on us very quickly, yeah?
Tell
Be
me about
careful. Where's the lenga? You can't do me.
What? Mike thinks I'm gonna shoot straight. I am unworthy. I am unworthy. That thing was 10 feet away.
I know.
It could have turned and come.
Yeah, just be ready, yeah? So
No, I won't be ready.
I've never seen it like this before, Jim. Huh? You mean do me? He's an asshole.
Oh, yeah,
See those
the
big
mouse.
knobs, huh?
This is not a nice one.
That's just, yeah.
I don't want her to come. What if she comes?
It's a male, a young male. That one there's a nice bull. Just keep behind this tree.
By this point in the hunt, I thought I'd seen everything. And when I was ready to call it off and go hunting dicks, I had no idea that the worst was still to come. You can't believe the violence when these animals come at you. It's 6,000 pounds of enraged animal, and it happens so quickly. I mean, we slow-moed it for you, but here's in real time how quickly that happened. I was running away like a scared squirrel goer, but Mike had to stand his ground. If he starts backing up and trips, there's going to be a problem, and probably a squished hunter, which would be me. I wouldn't be very happy about that. And with only my night muzzler, I mean, I can sure as heck give him a headache, but I don't know if I could drop him in his tracks or even turn him like Mike did. He's using a 470 Nitro double express rifle. Elephants are even worse. They're fearsome. These things are 12,000 pounds. And again, Mike has to stand his ground unless there are females involved. If a male charges and he has to shoot, that's one thing, but a female, you don't want to do that. You'll be filling paperwork out for centuries, and it's just unethical. There's no reason for it. But when you're hunting the male elephant, sometimes you get in close, the females are there and they smell you or see you, and they're going to charge. You want frightening? Try 12,000 times 7. That's what happened to us. This one, Mike's not going to stand his ground, and I'm getting ready to shoot. There would have been a stack of elephants if he'd have given me permission. I was scared, way scared when these things started running at us. Which one, Mike?
Cha! Wait, don't go too far. That's
good. That's way cool. All you need to do is tell me which one.
No, they're not going to shoot.
She's still there, eh?
If anything, you shoot a shot through its ear first.
Oh. Tell you what, you shoot the warning shot.
Send it to. Ciao. Eine kleine Video in so quasi.
Right between the eyes. Yeah. Let's just back off.
What?
Okay. Be careful, be careful.
That was right between the eyes.
He turned his head as you shot.
Oh, really?
Tiene el pico, no le quicho nada de
We've got my hippo down in the water. It made it into the water and it's dead there, and now we're trying to figure out a way to get a rope to it to get it out. Unfortunately, there's a whole bunch of really upset other hippos in the water.
Watch the rod doesn't break too. Come on, baby.
Mike fell.
What an exciting hunt, huh?
Oh man, that is, I've never in my life had a hunt like that.
Yeah.
I mean, just being so close in the bushes with them yesterday and let them go, and then come back here today, and then you have the one charge you.
Yes.
I was running. There's
Yes.
no way I was standing there. So the cow comes up. I
Yeah.
said, no. Just so huge. Yeah,
You wouldn't want to get between these, would you?
check that out. They're razor sharp.
Yeah.
They just cut you right in two. More people get killed by hippos every year.
Yeah,
here.
than any other animal. I think the statistic is mosquitoes and then hippo and then puff adders.
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
It's all the fishermen you can imagine.
Yeah, if they're going around those little flimsy boats like you guys were trying to use,
Sheesh. It's an
forget it.
accident waiting to happen.
What a hunt. I mean, you want the most exciting hunt of your life, come hippo hunting with Mike Fell here in Tanzania, Danny McCallum Safaris. It just doesn't get any more exciting, and that's honest to God truth. Unbelievable action.
Say goodbye to civilization.
Jim Shockey presents more action-packed, high-adventure hunting videos. Jim Shockey's Hunting Adventures video series, featuring African safaris, cave bears on the Pacific Rim, and the Canadian Whitetail Adventure videos, highlighting successful hunts from all over the world. Award-winning video footage will keep you at the edge of your seat. Monster whitetail bucks, close up and personal. Spot and stalk giant Vancouver Island black bear, plus dangerous game muzzleloader hunts for Cape buffalo, moose, water buffalo, and polar bear at 15 feet. Plus Jim's own world record hunts for Roosevelt elk, bison, plains game, and much more. Jim Shockey's hunting videos. Order all and save.
That was frightening.
It was. I got no gun either.
I know, we had one shot. Okay.
I said, usi kan bali lakini paka karibu. We'll drop the first one and we'll sit behind it.
They can't jump, right?
No,
Tell me they can't jump.
they can't.
Did you get this one right here?
Are you kidding me? I was all over. Is that 10 out of 10?
Yeah.
Told
Is
you.
that 10 out of 10?
Yeah, but if we don't get home to show anybody, it's not going to be 10 out of 10.
Oh, what is this again?
Kwenda! Kwenda wewe!
What'd you tell them?
That's too small. Told them to go away.
You should have told them your client's really scared, so please don't hurt him. What is with these elephants and their attitude?
They all need a dose of Viagra, I think.